Hello, I'm Dr. Matthew Young, Fountain of Life Bible Church. Last night we were having a prayer vigil at Founders Park in Johnson City, Tennessee, and we had a pretty decent turnout. And we were there to pray over this election, praying for our country. The future looks bleak, and if Hillary gets into office, we are in dire straits. We are going to be suffering like never before if she was to get in there, particularly as Christians. And I read this verse last night, and the reason why I'm doing this, I want to do a little follow-up video. There were some things I wanted to say last night. I didn't get a chance or opportunity to say, and so I wanted to go back over a few things I said last night and add a few things that I thought would be applicable to those who may not have voted and to those who have voted, and I'll explain here in just a moment. Last night I read Proverbs 14, verse 34, and it said, "Righteousness exalteth a nation, but sin is a reproach to any people." Now, as I stated last night, when I finished up with my undergraduate work, my father gave me a Bible, and it's very precious and near and dear to my heart. And it's a Bible that he used throughout his ministry and through where he was attending college himself. And what is special about it is that he had placed little notes all around certain scriptures and things. And on this particular verse, he had written, "It doesn't matter if it is the USA or not, God will not uphold any nation that will wink at sin." And I felt that that was very applicable, and that's one reason why I read that, because we, if right now the Supreme Court is on the line, and if, heaven forbid, Hillary gets into office and she places an even more uber liberal judge on the Supreme Court, our rights as Christians are going to be severely affected. There is already, the Supreme Court is already, which they are not allowed to make law, but they have tried to say it's okay for same-sex marriage to be legalized. They can make ruling on law, but they cannot make laws. But apparently people think that they can make a law. Hillary's already said out of her own mouth that Christians need to make some changes. I have had this argument with people throughout the years that this country was not built on the Judeo-Christian ethic. And nothing could be further from the truth. Many of those who come to this country from Europe come here to escape religious persecution. As I was stating last night, John Witherspoon, who was also the president of, at that time, of Princeton University, was also the only pastor to sign the Declaration of Independence. And what he said, I thought was dead on, and something that he said, and forgive me if I don't get this exactly right, but he said that a republic. Let's see. Well, let me get this straight here. Hold on one second. A republic wants. A once equal republic. Oh goodness, my mind is went blank. But anyway, basically is what he was saying is, I don't have the exact wording there, so please forgive me. But he was saying that, in other words, if we don't protect our virtue, we are going to lose our liberty. And again, William Penn more or less echoed that when he said, if we are not governed by God, we'll be ruled by tyrants. As I was stating last night, the Congress wants open in prayer. They used to have a paid chaplain on staff. States at one time used to fund churches. Many want to use erroneously the separation of church and state, and that is so used out of context, because what that was saying was that the government is not to interfere or impede our religious right to worship. And that's exactly what they have tried to do, is to interfere and impede that. Here in a few weeks we're going to have Thanksgiving. Did you know the first Thanksgiving was to thank God after the war had ended? That was the first Thanksgiving. So when people try to say that, yes, I mean, of course, Jefferson was a deist, and, they were not trying to make a theocracy. They wanted religious freedom for all, but they based our laws upon the moral law. And they knew that there had to be a moral lawgiver, which was God, because we were endowed with certain inalienable rights. And those inalienable rights wasn't given by the state, because then that could change. They knew it had to come from a creator, that all men were created equal, and that is God. As I stated last night about the Judeo-Christian ethic, that when that term was originally used, actually in 1888 by Friedrich Nietzsche, he was saying what that term was talking about the Jewish roots coupled with the identity of the early Christian church. But it was in 1952 when Dwight Eisenhower actually used that term, that it made no sense if a country ruled without a deep religious belief. And again, he said it was that Judeo-Christian ethic that is endowed upon us, that all men are created equal. And so that's when that term really come into play, was in 1952. So this country was started by a deep religious belief in God. A deep belief knowing that with God at the helm, with God in control, this is the only way this country will survive. Hillary Clinton is evil. I don't care if she's a Democrat. I don't care if she's a Republican, an independent. This is not about a party affiliation, because, to be honest with you, both party sides are corrupt. They're both evil. And like I was reading an article yesterday that her chairman, John Podesta, was involved in occultic practices, that they were doing rituals with blood and semen and painting these grotesque pictures and cutting their fingers, doing these rituals. So we are in a very deep, real spiritual battle here. I mean, I want to make something very clear. We cannot put our faith in any one politician. No politician is going to save us. Yes, I hope and pray that Donald Trump will win the presidency. I will not hide that fact. I hope that he does, because I think that's the only thing that's going to keep this country even remotely on track. The alternative is scary, to say the least. But no matter who is elected, God still sits on the throne. God is in control. Only God can save us. So many people I've talked to throughout the years try to say that God is not real, that some people mock God by calling him the Sky Daddy or the flying spaghetti monster. God is real. God is truth. He is evident to the things that we see around us. He is evident in my life and those I've seen around me. I know that God is real. He sent his only Son to save us. As I have said many times in many sermons, God could have simply sat back and said, hey, look, you choose me, fine. You don't, fine. And we would all perished into hell. But he sent his only Son, Jesus Christ, to save us, sinners, selfish, self-centered. God sent his Son because he loved us that much, to sacrifice his own Son to save us from a very real and eternal hell. And I know so many people have a hard time understanding how Jesus thought of us 2,000 years ago. But remember, Jesus was man, but he was also very much God. Even secular history records the fact that Jesus Christ lived and was real. The secular authors cannot understand the miracles that Jesus performed and refer to it as his great magic. Jesus is real. He did exist. And the way I look at it, as I've told people many times before, I'm a sci-fi junkie, and I love anything to do with time travel. When Jesus Christ was on that cross, time and space collapsed, and he had you on his mind. Remember that God is omniscient. He's omnipresent. He knows all. He sees all. He's everywhere at the same time. Jesus saw you. He could see past, present, and future, and he died for you. Just as I've told people many, many times before, it'd just be like if you were out in the middle of a road and you didn't see the car coming, and I ran out and pushed you out of the way, and I was the one that got hit by the car and died. I did that to save your life. That's what Jesus Christ did. He saw you heading for hell, and he took your place on the cross, because we are sinners. We are hate-filled. We are perverse. We are disgusting. And a man who knew no sin, who was more innocent than any baby ever born, said, I'm going to take your place. He said, Matt, I'm going to take your spot. And he took a beating I deserved. He was nailed to the cross that I deserved. And he did it because he loved me and he loves you. And the grave could not hold him. And Jesus rose again on the third day and was seen by over 500 witnesses. Remember, the Roman officials wanted people to lie and say that it didn't happen, and they could not, because the people saw. If somebody wanted to debunk the Bible, all they had to say, all history could simply say, "Hey, because the Bible was written within generations, not hundreds or thousands of years later. It was written within the same time frame that all this happened." And somebody could easily say, "Hey, I was there. This didn't happen. My grandfather was there. It didn't happen." But they couldn't because they knew it happened. If you've not accepted Jesus Christ into your heart, I implore you, I beg you, please accept Jesus into your heart today. Heaven is real and hell is real. And you have a choice where you want to spend all of eternity. Yes, these elections are stressful. Just like I saw somebody talking today, I'm a University of Tennessee fan, and it seems like the excitement didn't happen to the fourth quarter, and usually it's in the last few seconds of the last quarter or the last part of the game. That's what this election is. We're right up here to the wire. If the score is tied, and we're down biting our nails wondering who's going to win. I hope and pray that the evil as Hillary Clinton loses and that Trump wins. Is he perfect? No. Has he got his problems? Yes. But he is far better than that evil, maniacal, power-hungry Hillary Clinton. I hope and pray. But like I said, no matter who sits in that office as president, God is in control. Nothing's going to happen that God doesn't want to happen. He is sovereign and in control. And no matter the outcome, we must depend upon God. There's many times I know that I have prayed and I wanted something so bad, and God didn't answer that prayer. Oh, but He answered the prayer. Let me back up. He answered it. It just wasn't the way that I wanted it. Okay? Sometimes the answer is yes, no, and you may just have to wait. We can pray hard that Trump can get into office. And if he doesn't, yes, we're going to be disappointed. Yes, we're going to be mournful. But God has a plan, as I stated. He can see past, present, and future. And so we can't make God bend His will to our own. We must submit our will to God. So no matter the outcome, we must be obedient, praise God, and know that He is in control, and not be disappointed and upset because we know God has got this. Our time on this earth is short, and what time that we do have, we need to use it to glorify God. We need to use it to witness and minister, talk to as many people about Jesus Christ as we can. And no matter how bad things get, we know where our strength lies, and that is Jesus Christ. I thank you for your time today. I hope you have a blessed day, a wonderful day. If you haven't voted, please get out there and vote. The last election, the thousands of evangelicals who did not vote could have made a difference. Please get out and vote. Please make the right decision. And I appreciate your time, and I hope you have a good day. Thank you.